Hey guys, this is anything I can think of doing right now, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Ventriloquist dummy collection. This is the collection of every single Ventriloquist dummy I have. So, I'm going to start off by showing you guys them and naming them. So this is Charlie McCarthy, 1977, Mouth Works, with monocle, all complete, and original. Danny O'Day, he's a new one off of thirdthings.com. His mouth works. And, yeah. Super plush body. This one has a stiffer body because he's older. Okay. This is a super stiff body. Danny O'Day. He kind of looks like that one, but he's 1968. He has nice clothes on, and his shoes look like this. Super flimsy, but they're nice shoes. Here's just the Danny O'Day head. You just pull the mouth. Yeah, that's just the 1968 head. Mortimer Snerd with the original hat, with the original shoes, and with the original clothes. Also a super stiff body. I haven't been showing you guys the mouth, so there's the mouth. All of my dummies have a super easy mouth movement. Here's my Charlie McCarthy, my super stiff body, 1968. 1968 he is, and 1968 he is. They all have the same shoes, and that's why I got all three of these. And original monocle, original hat, and original shoes. Buzzer the Clown. New one off of Third Things, but he's a standard upgrade, so you can twist his head and his mouth moves. I could twist his head all the way around 360, but he is leaning. Groucho Marx, new one off of Third Things. Jerry Mahoney, 1960 or 50, I forget. His mouth works. And with the original shoes. Original shoes are like this plastic material. Groucho Marx, his mouth works, but he has a cigar in his mouth right now, so I'm not going to take that out. But, yeah. You get the point. I'm going to get Charlie McCarthy here. I got some shoes at Goodwill for him. Little baby shoes. Says Daddy's little sports fan. Just little shoes for him. I actually made this one half vintage and half new. So his right here is vintage. His shirt's vintage. His pants are vintage, and his shoes are new. Obviously, if I got them from Goodwill. But his head's new and his hat's new, but all his clothes and his hands are vintage. I switched out his hands with different zip ties. They just come right off. Two sloppy dummies. They're both in super good, immaculate condition. They're with their original shoes. Their shoes look discolored. This one's shoes look brighter, but they're not. They're the same. That's just the lighting. Mortimer Snerd, Third Things. This one's off of Third Things, but I made it vintage, like I said. These two are both off of Third Things. So they have a super plush body, and that one has a plush body because he's off of Third Things. So these are all new, and that one is new also. But I'm gonna show you guys their mouth. Like I said, all their mouths move super easy, and all of them work. I have fixed most of them. Yeah, so Charlie McCarthy, Slappy, Mortimer Snurd, Howdy Doody. F and B, Charlie McCarthy, super tiny one. Compared to these dolls, he is super tiny. His mouth is not working, unfortunately. I cannot fix it either, because his head is super glued onto his body. This one with some red shoes, super nice. His mouth works. His head kind of looks like it got repainted at one point, but that's alright. Move him over to the side. Here's one. His mouth is inside his head. You can hear it. Squishy body. These are all from 1930, so yeah. 1930. Pretty hard body. They all have the hard body, so I'm not even gonna say that. His mouth obviously doesn't work if it's inside his head, and it wouldn't work even if it was out. But I can fix that one, because it's not super glued to his body, just held on by a wire or something. Here's one. He is listed, so he's wrapped in shrink wrap. He's got his original hat. Well, he's got a hat. I don't know if it's original. But he's got his reproductions of the original papers. Here's another one. His mouth doesn't work, but this one's mouth does work, as you can see. This one's mouth kind of works. This one's mouth works really good. These are all little tiny ones. His mouth does not work at all. His mouth doesn't work at all. Some of these have pretty cracked heads, some of them don't. Here's another one. Let me grab his string. His mouth works. And he has a super nice white suit. So, there's this one. His mouth doesn't work. He's in pretty bad condition. But, yeah. Here's another one. Mouth does kind of work. This one is listed, like I said, with reproductions of papers. Mouth works super good. And it's a really nice one, too, with the original hat. This hat is actually original, and I know that for sure. This one is still wrapped in shrink wrap because he is not looking amazing. There's another one right there. His mouth does work. There's George Bush. He's actually a puppet, so his mouth can't break. I'll just demonstrate on one of them real quick. See, he's just a puppet, so his mouth can't break. A little puppet rod. Yeah, to George Bush. I have another one, but it would be super hard to get out, so I didn't get it. Lester, the ventriloquist dummy. He is actually an old one. He is an old one. He's not a new one off the throat things. I don't know what year he's exactly from, but yeah. And his foot. Poor Lester has his foot. This is the only Lester I have, and his foot is ripped off. Mortimer Snurd. Lester has a pretty squishy body. It's not like super stiff. Like this one doesn't even have a super stiff one. It's like Lester. So here's Mortimer Snurd. His mouth works. This one does kind of have a deformed head, but that's alright. I love all my dolls. All my dolls are pretty cool. Vintage Howdy Doody. This one's vintage. His body's pretty squishy, like Mortimer Snurd and Lester. His mouth works. His shoes are actually pretty interesting. I don't think a lot of people have these shoes still, because I think they just ripped them right down the seam and just tore them off when they were little, and now they're trying to sell it without the shoes. So I think this shoes are pretty rare. I showed you that Jerry Mahoney. Now I'm going to show you the composition Jerry Mahoney. This one is not looking amazing, but I mean, his mouth works, and his body's pretty stiff. This one's body's super stiff. Mouth works super good. Yeah. There's cardboard on his foot from his old shoes that are now gone. So here's a Charlie McCarthy. I don't know if I've been saying the names. This one's Danny O'Day. I already said all these ones. There's Charlie McCarthy. He's 1960. Well, actually, I don't know about this one because his head looks like it's 1977, but his body is like 1968. Because if you look here, well, his feet have hot glue on them. I meant Elmer's glue. So I think his body is 1968 and his head is 1977. It's either been switched or they just started using 1968 bodies, and one point they were making a 1977 Charlies. Okay. Here's Danny O'Day. Ugh, his mouth works alright. Sometimes it sticks. I don't know why. But, yeah, that's alright. He does have the same shoes as this Charlie. Okay, Danny O'Day. His mouth works. He's actually a tiny version, and I didn't know they made those, but yeah. His shoes are super tiny compared to the old ones, but compared to the ones that have the old shoes. And what I'll show you guys. Look at this shoe compared to that shoe. It's super tiny. It's a super tiny shoe. 1 second. I'm just putting this shoe back on. Yeah. Emmett Kelly, Ventriloquist dummy. Mouth works. Alright. Hands are pretty marked up, but that's alright. Hands, green pants. Vintage Danny O'Day. Mouth works. Shoes are missing. Most of these have shoes missing. So this is Emmett Kelly, Danny O'Day, Charlie McCarthy, right here. The bodies on these are all pretty squishy. Some of them are, few of them are hard, are stiff bodies. But this one's mouth works good. Mouth works good. And his shoes are still attached to his body, so they're not coming off. So, yeah. There's that Charlie McCarthy. Mortimer Snerd. Mouth works. Oh, this is 1977. 1968. I have no idea what year. 1968. I already said that one. This 1968, 1950s or 60s, 1972, 1977, Lester, I have no idea what year. This Charlie's from 1977. This Mortimer Snerd from 1968. His body is, his mouth works, his body is pretty stiff body. These dummies are special. These dummies are, the suitcase dummies, actually. The ones that have a suitcase. Actually, the suitcases are right over there. The orange and black suitcase. So there's one with these shoes. I don't know if they're his original shoes. I got him like that. His hat. I know that's a Throw Things hat, and I'm pretty sure these are Throw Things shoes. They just put these shoes on him, which is alright. His monocle does look pretty vintage, so I think it is his vintage original monocle. This one, I know his hat's original because it's all cloth. Up there's his monocle, and there's his shoes. So that one's all complete and original for sure. Professional. I do have 2 more of these, but I do not know where. I know where they are, but they're hard to get to, so I didn't get them out once again. So I actually have more dummies, and I counted all these dummies, and I have 47, but I have more, so probably about 52. By the way, this is 1968 and 1968. Alright, so professional dummy. You just want to get him, pull him, your hand just goes in the back. So let me see. His eyebrows move and his mouth moves. His eyes do not move. Here's what his controls look like. Mouth, eyes. His head does come out, but I'm not going to take it out. Oh, yeah. 1 second. I'm just fixing the ball. Alright. Mr. Sinescu, I do know his name. I don't know his name. These are newer dummies. They actually are huge. And, yeah, they're super expensive. So, this one has eye movement. His eyebrows do not move, but his mouth moves. So, it's kind of like that one. Controls look the same. Same person who made these. Danny O'Day, missing his shoes. Actually, poor Danny, one of his feet are ripped. And I don't know if a rat got into it or what, but poor Danny has a cracked head too. Right there. And right there. And Emmett Kelly. This is another Emmett Kelly, but he's from 1977. The other one you saw over there with the green pants is different. That one's 1968. This one's 1977. Missing the shoes. So guys, I hope you like this video on my whole Ventriloquist dummy collection. I have been saving for a lot of years. I've been a collector for a while now. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.